Gen Z shows the millennials how it's done. Death by 1,000 cuts for builders, and 2023 volume even worse than we originally anticipated. Lots of intel today. Let's go fast. Here we go. You ready?
Yep.
Hit record on everything and I'm ready to roll. Check this out. Nearly 1/3 of Gen Z that are 25 years old own their home in 2022. That's slightly higher than the homeownership rates for millennials at 28% and Gen Xers at 27% when they were also 25 years old, and slightly lower than the rate for baby boomers, 32% when they were 25 years old. Now, it's too early to call this rates, but it appears that Gen Z is getting off to a quick start, in part largely to lower mortgage rates and a strong job market during the pandemic. Talk about a quick shot in the arm for these young folks. Now, that may normalize as we drift away from the pandemic back into a normalized market, though. Baby boomers and Gen X are still leading the way overall. Good on you, Gen Z. Way to get in the game quickly. Now, the crazy thing is, it could be even better if housing inventory wasn't such an issue. And our chief economist touched on this last week, stating that the recent hikes are unnecessary and have many unintended consequences. Currently, housing inventory is down 40% compared to 2019. The housing market is being held back by the lack of housing inventory, a problem that existed before the pandemic. We have to stop the bleeding before improvement takes place. We need to get more inventory, and the long-term solution is simply just to build more homes. Now, Robert Dietz, chief economist for the National Association of Home Builders, stated, "How do we solve lack of inventory? We've got to build more homes, right? Of course, but that is more complicated now due to higher interest rates. Acquisition, development, and construction loans are very high at 11 and 12% right now. By raising rates, the Fed made it more expensive to build and develop housing. Regulatory costs also inhibit housing inventory improvements. It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's impossible to build entry-level homes when you've got, even before you put a shovel in the ground, $200,000 in regulatory costs. More inventory is the solution, and it's coming, just not fast enough." Now, all of that has led to this. The gap between single-family home construction and household formations grew to 6.5 million over the past 10 years. It's been a problem for some time, but hey, that's good news for homeowners and proves that housing demand will remain very, very strong for a very, very long time. And all of that has led to a huge revision in total overall volume in real estate and lending. Now, Garth and I discussed this graph in depth on a previous show, but his projections and many others were around $2 trillion in business in 2023, and that's being revised down to about $1.8 trillion. And actually, guys, I'm hearing that maybe even as low as $1.4 trillion when all is said and done in 2023. That would be a shocking number considering that we all just closed $4.4 trillion in 2021. What a massive reduction either way. Looking much further ahead though, guys, 2023 is shaping up to be a challenging year to say the least, but the following years could be really, really good and really good steady business. Don't sleep on Gen Z, guys. These guys are coming out super hot and super heavy. Millennials, don't be mad. You're just not the cute girl at the dance anymore. Kidding, but it happens to all of us. All the resources are in the comment section below. Share today's show and go brag on those Gen Zers, and we'll see you guys next week.